So this means that the tags that I have here, the accounts that I have here, I can select them all and I can manage tags. So I'll do this one more time because I want you to see what I just did. When I click on this corner button, it selects everybody. It might select 50 accounts, and if you have 1,000 clients, you want to click on select all so that all of your 1,000 clients are selected. In this case, I only have 5, so only 5 are selected. And when you select them, this menu pops up that wasn't there before right up here. If I click on manage tags, I can apply a tag that already exists to all of these accounts. So maybe I want to do the tax tag, assign to all, click save, and then after a minute or two, you'll start seeing those tags visible here. I'm going to reload the page. You always want to reload the page after applying something because it might not immediately be visible, okay? So in this case, notice that the tax tag was applied to everyone. What if I want to remove it? Same thing, select everyone, manage tags. Let's look for that tax tag. Here it is, remove from all. Remove from all that I have selected, right? If it's not check marked, then it's not going to be changed. All right. So notice that they were all removed now. That's how easy it is to manage tags in bulk. If you want to do it on an individual basis, you can do it just for one and manage tags, or you could just open the account. Again, you're going to click on info, click on edit, and you will be able to update the account immediately here. So that's how you do it on an individual basis. All right. So now that we are actually diving into these bulk actions, I want to address all these amazing bulk actions that you have. And it's my favorite part to look at because it just makes firms, jobs, and lives easier to have this option, right? So for example, notice that not everybody is a 1040 on this short account list. Not everybody is. I have a business on here, right? So what if I want to email in bulk my 1040s or do anything in bulk for only my 1040? So the first thing that I'll do is filter by tag. I'm going to filter by 1040 tag. The filter works in amazing ways. You can say, well, show me all 1040s or show me none of 1040s. Like show me everything that does not have the 1040. And well, we only have one account that is a business and doesn't have a 1040, and it'll show us that. So notice that we have these kind of selectors, and these selectors will give you a little bit more thorough and ideal sorting for your filters, right? You can create filters and save them so that in the future you can use them over and over, right? So in this case, you can save in this section. You can save and apply here. And let's call this 1040s. You want to make sure that you name. 1040, I probably have that created already. All right, perfect. So these are called presets, and these presets will be available here for you so that they automatically show up whenever you need them. Because filtering, sometimes it's inconvenient to just keep filtering. You can create this really dynamic filter in which you say, I only want 1040s, but I don't want the ones that have this other tag, or I want, very specific filter. You can use the presets here to be able to narrow everything down, right? And if you don't want to see this view any longer, you can always exit out of the filter. Our filters are just these great tools that we have to narrow down all of your accounts, especially if you have hundreds and hundreds of clients. Even if you don't have hundreds and hundreds or even thousands of clients, it's still a nice way to filter through your list. So again, tags, I want to do 1040. I want to email them, maybe a happy holiday, or I want to announce that there's changes in tax law that they need to be aware of. This menu again will pop up. You can click on send email and you will be able to send a bulk email to your clients. We have templates that you can copy from our library, or you can just simply create your own template or just write an email from scratch and send it over however you'd like here. You can add attachments and you can even schedule the email at a certain time and date if you need to. All of the accounts that you selected, email addresses will show up here. The email addresses will show up. So if you only selected one account and that account has two contacts, you will see two email addresses on here. You can preview the email if you need to by clicking on send me preview, but this is generally how you would do a bulk email. Really easy to do. It really helps with communication, which I'll talk a little bit more about how to have better communication with clients. This is an ideal tool. And really, it's going to be something that you'll use commonly. Well, let's check out some of these other items here. You can send an organizer if you want to send it to these clients right now. Ideally, you want to send organizers through a pipeline. We'll talk more about a pipeline and how that works. Generally, tomorrow we'll go more into depth about a pipeline, and we'll talk about organizers and things that need to be completed on the first stages of a pipeline. For example, a 1040 or a corporate tax return, right? All right, so you can click on Send Organizer. You will choose the template. And again, we'll explore that a little bit more in depth tomorrow, but this is a way you can do it in bulk. You can add a job. We'll talk about jobs. What are jobs? We'll talk about what that means a little bit later on today. And we want to manage the team. Managing the team means that maybe, originally only I have access to the account, but I want to give my other team members access to all of these accounts because they need to be able to open the accounts and see what's inside of them. So you'll notice that in the team section, you'll see the logos of the team members. So if you don't see them, again, have patience. Usually the system, when it does bulk updates, it takes a little bit of time. There we go. So I applied to these accounts everybody's name except the 1065 here, which I don't want everybody to have access, only two people in the team. We have more options here. We can not only manage a team, send an email, manage tags that we saw. We have more options. So we have quite a bit of options here that allow for you to manage your clients. You can send them an invoice. You can create a task that revolves around these clients. Tasks we'll explore a little bit later on today. I don't want to bombard you with the internal language just now, but tasks are, a to-do item for you and your team, not for your client. We can apply a folder template, which we talked about yesterday as well. If you want to add more folders to your current accounts, you can click on that. You can send a chat message, and we'll talk about chat messages also a little bit later on. We can send a proposal. We can send a client request. These are other features that we haven't covered yet. We will. You can unfollow or follow accounts. So if you notice that there's an I here for you personally, your account, if there's an I there, you follow the account. If the client signs something or something in that account happens, if they email you, you will get a notification in Inbox Plus. And potentially in your email, if you have those check marked on your account settings, about this client. If you don't want to follow that account because maybe it belongs to somebody else in the team, you can unfollow the account, and you can do it in bulk as well. If you scheduled an email, you can cancel it, and you can edit the account type. Maybe they're all individuals instead of companies. And again, archive, which we already saw how that works. Getting into this edit login, if I click on that, this is the best way to send invites to your clients. So remember, we want to have all of those toggles on so that your client, number one, gets notifications and is able to log in. We have those two. Email sync is so that we can see any emails that they've replied to us via Taxstone. We'll still get them in our regular email inbox, but if you don't want them to be in Taxstone, you can untoggle that. But ideally, we want these on for everyone. Once you toggle them on, you can click on Send Invitation, and this will send an invitation to your client. You can include a special message here telling your client that this is you and that you are inviting them to the portal. If you don't have a personal message, that's not a big deal. One of the things that I suggest is for you to send an email in bulk, and you can use one of our templates that allows some verbiage to be predetermined that says welcome to the portal. Ideally, what you want to tell your client is that you're about to invite them to the portal. You've moved to a new way of managing business, and maybe you're going paperless, and that they need to set up a password, right? So that when you do send this invite is automated from Taxdome's system so that they don't think it's some sort of spam email, or maybe it'll go to their spam folder. We want to make sure that you, as their service provider for financial items such as tax returns, they know that this is real, it's coming from you. So it's just a suggestion that we have email your clients in bulk announcing that you're moving to a new portal, and then come here, do these actions, send invitation, and click on save. Everybody that you selected will get an email that says, hey, you've been invited to this portal. Please choose a password. It's usually the best way to go when inviting your clients, and you will be able to do that in bulk. We also have a section called pending activations. So these pending activations on here, you can do it on an individual basis and only send invites to these particular contacts, or you can cancel if you've already sent them. You'll have a timestamp here of when you initially sent them. Obviously, I haven't sent any invitations. That's why there is no timestamp. So there's two ways. You can go to pending activation, select everybody, and send them the invite, or do it through this bulk action here. And that's really the best way of inviting your clients. And again, you can use your filter to do that. We do have something called last login. If your client did log in recently, in the last month, for example, this client logged in for the last, in the last month, so I don't need to send them an invite. So you can filter this properly. You could probably tag the account as well, but you have the ability to see when somebody last logged in, and you can see if they downloaded the app. So these columns here are fully editable by clicking on this cogwheel and you being able to move some of the most important items that you feel should be at the top or at the bottom. All right. So one of the last things that I want to cover is, like, if you want to export this client list that you have, this accounts, you can click on this button here and it will export your whole client list. It will add the account names, and it'll tell you how many contacts are related to this particular account. So by clicking on this button here, you will get to export that data. All right, so I'm going to pause here because there's so much that we covered, and I want to make sure to address a few questions, right? So we covered pretty much filtering, how to do bulk actions, right? We did how to export clients, which is really, really easy to do. But when we do all this, there's always questions. And remember, all the questions that you have, that if you're live, you can write in our question section, and our team is answering as we are going through this webinar. If you're watching a recording of this, you can always go to the TaxDome community. And that TaxDome community, remember, if you click on the question mark on the top of your screen and you look for the community, open up, and if you haven't made a profile yet, make a profile with brief information and ask away. Our team is always going to be there available for you, and other firms actually will even reply to you and give you their best practice. So questions that you might have, questions that are going to get answered every single time.